Hello, welcome to Snuggle Up. Just relax yourself, take a deep breath, and start listening to the story. Today, we are going to listen to the story The Surprise of Life. Assume that I am telling you my own story. One day, when I was a freshman in high school, I saw a kid from my class was walking home from school. His name was Krish. He was wearing glasses. It looked like he was carrying all his books. I thought to myself, why would anyone bring home all his books on a Friday? He must really be a nerd. I had quite a weekend planned, so I shrugged my shoulders and went on. As I was walking, I saw a bunch of kids running towards him. They ran at him, knocking all his book out of his arms and tripping him. So he landed in the dirt. His glasses went flying, and I saw them land in the grass about 10 feet from him. He looked up, and I saw this terrible sadness in his eyes. My heart went out to him, so I jogged over to him. As he crawled around looking for his glasses, and I saw a tear in his eye. As I handed him his glasses, I said, "Those guys are fools. They really should get punished." He looked at me and said, "Hey, thanks." There was a big smile on his face. It was one of those smiles that showed real gratitude. I helped him pick up his books and asked him where he lived. As it turned out, he lived near me. So I asked him why I had never seen him before. He said he had gone to private school before now. I had never hung out with a private school kid before. We talked all the way home, and I carried his books. He turned out to be a pretty cool kid. I asked him if he wanted to play football on Saturday with me and my friends, and immediately he said yes. We hung all weekend, and the more I got to know him, the more I liked him. And my friends thought the same of him, so we had a good rapport. Monday morning came, and there he was with a huge stack of books again. I stopped him and said, "Hey buddy, you are gonna really build some serious muscles with this pile of books every day." He just laughed and handed me half the books. Over the next 4 years, we became best friends. When we were seniors, we began to think about college. He was going to be a doctor, and I was going for business on a football scholarship. I knew that we would always be friends. Even if we are miles apart, it would never be a problem. Krish was a valedictorian of our class. I teased him all the time about being studious. He had to prepare a speech for graduation. I was so glad it wasn't me having to get up there and speak. On the day of graduation, he looked great. He was one of those guys that really found the true himself during high school. He filled out and actually looked good in classes. Everyone loved him, including the teachers and our friends. Sometimes I was jealous. Today was one of those days. I could see that he was nervous about his speech. So I smacked him on the back and said, "Hey, big guy, you'll be great." He looked at me with one of those looks, the really grateful one, and smiled. "Thanks," he said, and moved on to the stage. I was confused for thanking me at that time. As he started his speech, he cleared his throat and began. Graduation is a time to thank those who helped you make it through these tough years. Your parents, your teachers, your siblings, maybe a coach, but mostly your friends. I'm here to tell all of you that being a friend to someone is the best gift you can give them. I'm going to tell you a story. I just looked at my friend with disbelief as he told the story of the first day we met. He had planned to kill himself over the weekend. I was awestruck after hearing that word from him. He talked of how he had cleaned out his locker so his mom wouldn't have to do it later and was carrying his stuff home. Then I understood why he was carrying all his books during the weekend. He looked hard at me and gave me a little smile. Thankfully, I was saved. My friend saved me from doing the unspeakable. I heard the gasp go through the crowd as this handsome, popular boy told us all about his weakest moment. I saw his mom and dad looking at me and smiling that same grateful smile. Not until that moment did I realize its depth. Never, ever underestimate the power of your actions. With one small gesture, you can change a person's life for better or for worse. If you see a person suffering, do not wait even a single second. Just go and help them if you can. Who knows? God has made you look at that incident because you could go and help them and change their lives like I did to Krish. God puts us all in each other's lives to impact one another in some way. Look for God in others. Each day is a gift from God. Don't forget to say, "Thank you." That is the surprise of life.